When did it actually finally come to a head, this between your father and yourself over your future?
There was one pivotal night that I recall where I guess I had come to realize that when I went to my father's business, I got instantly tired. I kind of laid down, slept a lot. I had no interest in it whatsoever. And that I was invigorated by doing the plays. So I got my father and mother in their bedroom. And I think it was in my third year of college. And I said, I want to try and be an actor. My father was very upset because for him, it was like a minstrel. And it was. I mean, good Lord, if my child, when my child said to me, I want to be an actor, I was aghast. Because it is a minstrel. The chances of your succeeding for any kind of meaningful life are very, very slim. And if you make your life, as I had thought I would do then, in the theater, and I wasn't aware of the picture, I just wanted to be an actor. But if you were to analyze it, you could make a working man's wage in the theater if you average your salary over a year, if you weren't a star. Same thing applies today.
Just going to stop you for a second. I hate to stop you in the middle of that thought, but we'll finish. We're just going to... Okay, we were finishing up...
So I was saying that the idea of working in the theater at the salaries that I conceived of was money that people might work who were doing any blue-collar work. And that didn't bother me. I mean, I remember thinking if I could make $100 a week, I could live. And that was my ambition when I was in my 20s. If I could make that kind of money acting, I could stay alive.
Where did that decision lead you?
Where did it lead me? Lead
you. Next.
Well, it led me to on graduation, to a summer theater in Montreal that I'd been to as an actor, as an amateur, working with somebody who had directed me in amateur theatricals and now had the use of this theater. And they had filled their acting company up, and I was able to get a job as an assistant manager, selling tickets and things like that, and playing the ingenue, the young man, not the ingenue. And then when I was able to play those parts well and lose enough tickets and money, I couldn't keep track of it, they fired me as the assistant manager and kept me on in the acting company. And the same thing applied that fall in Ottawa at the Canadian Repertory Theatre. I went there as assistant manager, couldn't keep track of the money and tickets, and was fired again, but hired as the actor. And then I was going back and forth for 3 years, I think, doing summer and winter repertory, where I do play a week.
You sure there wasn't a subconscious effort on your behalf to get acting roles rather than business?
Probably, but when you're doing a play at night and rehearsing a play during the day, and then they want you to take over some of the front office duties, it was difficult.
Those were tough years in Ottawa. You had virtually no money, as recollected. Did your father's admonitions come back to haunt you during those years?
I always thought, well, I'll go back to Montreal. I can go back to Montreal if this doesn't work out. I thought that for years. The location changed as I thought back, as I came down here. I thought, well, I can always go back to Toronto, acting in Toronto by that time. So it was always like, I could go back to Canada if I fail here and maybe pull myself together.
It was an option your father left open?
For a long time, yeah, sure.